back to Coach K. All right, Lane, the bin is looking great. I did want to go over a couple things about the chipping. We took the approach where we just said we'll see what happens. So we weren't sure whether the milk paint was going to chip or not. There are other options you can control the chippy with by using wax or Vaseline, and you can basically rub it in certain areas and that will repel the milk paint. So since we didn't do that and we took the approach of let's just see what happens, that's my favorite approach, we didn't get any chippy. So now that the piece is painted and we're seeing those scratches, I would recommend sanding down that top and sanding out the scratches and recoating the milk paint. I think if we did get a chippy finish, it would have kind of hid that a little bit with the chippy milk paint and the distressing, but since we have a little more solid finish now, I would go ahead and sand those down so it's nice and smooth and recoat it with the milk paint, and then we'll take it from there. Good luck.
Isn't this thing a beauty? Look at this thing. I love the color of it. Actually, Coach K looked at it and she, as you just heard, wants me to sand this top part. So we're not quite done yet. I think I got a little too excited, but it's because I think the color made it look really nice. But I'm going to sand down this top coat as she suggested to get rid of the scratches. Then I'm going to mix up some more paint and cover this. I'm actually going to cover the whole thing again and we'll see where we're at. But I do get to use my power sander. This thing is ready to roll. Or wait a minute, ready to sand. Boy, it's really nice and smooth now. It feels really good. You don't feel any scratches or dents. I started out with the orbital sander and it was 120 grit paper that I had on there. And as you can see it from the video, it just didn't get very deep. Those scratches turned out to be pretty deep. So I switched to the pad sander that had 40 grit, and that's pretty rough, but it allowed me to get down to the wood where I could smooth it out. Then I switched back to the orbital 120 grit to give it a final smooth finish. So you know, it's ready for paint now, and the scratches are gone. There may be a few scratches, but I think it goes well with the overall look of the bin. Now I'm going to mix me up some more Chateau Interiors milk paint in the Clark Pine Green, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, I got my second batch of milk paint ready to go, nice consistency, and got my Palm Pro, which works great for milk paint and all kinds of paints. Okay, Coach K, what do you think of this? I have to say, you know what you're talking about, because this actually made a huge difference sanding down this front, and I've put 2 coats of milk paint on that front after I sanded it, and then I've also put another coat on the rest of the bin, but I think it looks really nice. So my question is, what do we do next? Do we put the hardware on, or do we wax it? What's next?